everybody, it is a beautiful evening and Ruby's kits need a nesting box change. They've been in there for a couple of weeks now and it's getting soiled and a little bit wet. So it's a good time and it's a good practice to clean out and freshen up the nesting box materials every once in a while so that they're not kind of hanging out in their own waste, and keeping it nice and dry and healthy in there. Just gives me an opportunity to inspect all the kits and make sure they're doing well, which I do every day, but not at length. So I'm just going to show you how I do this, and you know, the tools or the materials that I use to kind of freshen up their nesting box. Okay. So I'm sorry I can't get my head and everything in here, but I've got my little bag of cut up yarn, and I also have a box here, a container with a little bit of Ruby's fur, and it's actually that roving that I'm just going to put the kits on while I kind of freshen up their nesting box. I've got some fresh hay, well, not fresh hay, but dried hay, as well as wood chips that I'm going to use to kind of freshen up the box. They're getting a drink at the bunny bar. I woke them both up from their nap. Okay, everybody. Okay, well, this is a good time to give y'all a good look at these little munchkins. They're getting very big and very active. I can't even catch them. Here's a little Blackie, and you can see their eyes are open, so they're ready to start exploring. This is the time where you come out in the morning and, you know, they're out on the cage because they've popped out on Ruby or they've hopped out themselves. Little whitey, eyes are just barely open. There you go. This one's super cute. A little brown, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, that's for sure. There you go. Go on, Tilly. Go on, Till. So what I'm doing is I'm taking any of the bedding that's dry and putting it on top because it's a keep, or maybe I'll just put it in here with them. Ooh, who's this little porker? Holy smokers. Now this one actually looks like a gray. He's super cute. Tilly, go on. Go on. No, go on. Tilly, go on. Tilly, go on. Ooh, fat little bellies. Another little black. Woo. And then this one is actually really neat. This is not white. There is a color that they call lavender, and I think this is as close as I've ever gotten to a lavender. It's almost like a really pale gray, but it does have red eyes. So anyways, there we go. So I'm just taking kind of the light fluffy material out of the nesting box, and you can see there's like some kind of hard packed material at the back. That is what I'm going to take out and replace. Some of this isn't too bad. Smell it. It kind of smells like pee, so yeah, I'm gonna take all this out. I'm gonna get rid of any of the damp material. So all these wood chips in the bottom, I'm just gonna put it on the cage floor for now, but get rid of all that. That's the one good thing about having the wood chips is they're really absorbent. They're nice and absorbent, so the box doesn't stink at all. And I kind of just use the material to like wipe around in the corners and make sure all of the wet material is out of there. Sometimes if it's really dirty, it's not. In this case, like when we had the 12 kits, it was pretty dirty. I took it in the shop and blew it out with the air compressor. But that's pretty clean, nice and clean in there now. So now what I'm gonna do is just take some of these wood chips. I'm gonna take and spread some wood chips been really hot these last couple of days, so the kits have been wiggling around a lot, and plus they're getting bigger, so they're pretty active. So I'm gonna put that as the base, and then I've got some more of this cut up wool that I'm just gonna sprinkle just to, I don't know, make it softer for them. They're definitely way more active now. They're hopping around in here, and they can kind of temperature regulate themselves because they can come out from under the fur mound if they're hot, which is really nice. The last couple days there have been a few out on the cage in the morning, but they're just fine. They're kind of just hanging out. Okay, so now we'll put these little munchkins back in. And I just want to show you the difference between the gray and, oh, you guys are wigglers. The gray and the white. Oh my gosh, they're cute. Oh, what color is this time? Licorice had all black and white, I'm pretty sure. So they're 2 weeks old today. Cover them back up with their fur, and then they'll kind of wiggle themselves around in there how they want to be. So they're 14 days today, and this nesting box actually comes out on day 17, which is only in a couple of days. They look kind of small when you take out the nesting box. You kind of wonder, but they do just fine. Somebody in my last video reminded me, when I posted about losing the kits, reminded me that, you know, that kind of thing happens in nature. And so you do have to keep that in mind, that normally when rabbits are born in nature, I mean, they're really just out in the open and kind of fending for themselves. And so they don't really have a true nesting box or anything like that. They do have a nest, like, or a form to protect them, but when they're ready to come out, they do leave the nest. So it's always something to consider. Anyway, so we're going to put these guys back in with Ruby and let them kind of snuggle into their new bedding. And I'll bring you back when I take the nesting box out and kind of introduce them to the cage. And then once they've been in there feeding for a couple of weeks, I actually put them out on grass so they have a more kind of natural environment to play in. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you all have a great night, and we'll see you next time. You Tilly?